Today I'm going to be reviewing Dragon Quest IX for the Nintendo DS. This is the fifth game in the series I've played. Third one I finished. First one was Dragon Quest VIII on PS2. As you can tell, I love that game. Next up is Dragon Quest IV on DS, the remake or whatever. Played that one too. That one was also excellent. And then this one, which is another outstanding game in the series. So the story with this game is you are a Celestian, which is kind of like a guardian angel of the people of the world below. And, you know, you watch over them, you protect them from monsters or harm or whatever. And, you know, they can't see you or interact with you or anything, but they believe in you, and when they think that you've done something good for them, they thank you, or, you know, thank their guardian. And what happens then is you get kind of a physical manifestation of their gratitude called benevolescence, and then you take this benevolescence up to the observatory to the world tree Yggdrasil, and you know, make an offering. And very early in the game something happens and you actually end up falling from the observatory. You lose your wings, you lose your halo, and suddenly people can see you now, but you still kind of have some of the Celestian powers, like you can still see ghosts and stuff, but you can't see benevolescence anymore. So what also happens is 7 figs from Yggdrasil drop to the land below, and you have to find them and you know, collect them all and then take them back up to the observatory, and you also have to find a way to get back there. So it's at this point that the story of the game, it kind of takes a back seat, and like each town you visit, you know, there's a fig to acquire there, but each town has like their own little story, and you know, it really doesn't have much to do with the main story at all. So once you find all 7 figs, then the you know, the real story kicks back in again, and it actually gets pretty good at that point. It's, you know, it's not amazing. You're never going to confuse it for Xenogears or anything, but yeah, it's pretty good. I found it quite interesting. Now, characters in this game are a little bit different, because when you boot up this game for the first time, you have to create a character. You don't have like a pre-made character that you just tack a name onto. You actually have to, you know, make your character's appearance and everything. And you know, this isn't an Elder Scrolls game. You're not going to spend like a half hour to 60 minutes making a character and then, you know, 100 hours playing in first person mode and not looking at your character. No, but you have like 7 options, and, you know, or 7 features to adjust, and then 2 to 10 options with each one. And there's no like sliders or anything like that. You know, it's pretty basic, but I actually kind of like it that way. You know, I kind of feel overwhelmed when you have a creation thing right at the beginning of the game that's like, you know, super in depth, and like I just want to play the game. So there's that. And something really cool too is like every piece of armor or equipment you find in the game, you can actually see on your character, which is a first for the series and doesn't happen in JRPGs too often. Occasionally, like Dragon Quest VIII, you'll get a special outfit for Jessica, you know, and, you know, like the bunny suit outfit or the dancer costume. But in this game, you actually have like everything you find, you can see equipped on your character, and you have like your weapon, your shield, helmet, torso, your hand, like gloves and wrist and stuff, legs and feet, and also accessories. So there's a lot of stuff to equip your character with, and, you know, it's just nice to see the variety in, you know, the way your character can look. And then something else different too with the characters is when you get to the second town in the game called Stornway, it's kind of like the main hub of the game. You actually recruit the rest of your party, but, you know, these aren't like characters that you can talk to or anything. They're just, again, you just create 3 characters. You actually do get to pick their vocation, which is like this game's version of a class or a job. And you only have like 6 to start off the game with. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, again, you you know, you do the same thing. You choose your characters, you name them and everything, and that's going to be your party throughout the game. You know, at first I didn't think I would like that, but actually it's not too bad. You know, I really did like the interaction with Jessica, Yangus, and Angelo on Dragon Quest VIII. But, you know, it kind of sucks that there is no, like, you know, party interaction. But it's not a huge deal. You actually do have a fairy that travels around with you that you can talk to named Stella. And she also, you know, keeps track of your records and all that stuff. Kind of like the King Trode of this game, but a lot better looking. Okay, and then I said that there were vocations in this game, or jobs. Your main character, her default job is, or vocation is, minstrel. Kind of a hybrid between a warrior and, you know, you do have some light healing. And then you can also choose between 5 other vocations. There's a thief, a monk, a martial artist is what it's called actually, a priest, a mage, and a, the last one escapes me right now, oh, a warrior. So that's what you have at the beginning of the game. Later on you can unlock some more. It's kind of annoying, I actually didn't get a chance to unlock them, because what you have to do is you get to level 15 in your class, and then you talk to a certain person and they say, you know, go do this, come back and talk to me to unlock, you know, the next vocation. And when you go back to them, they say, okay, now come back when you're level 40, and then when you do that, they send you to do something else. So, you know, it's kind of annoying, and they're really, really specific. Like, there was one where you had to fight like metal slimes, and for those that don't know about metal slimes or Dragon Quest at all, you know, they're enemies they usually have like less than 10 hit points, but their defense is like through the roof. So if you do any damage at all, the max you're going to be doing is 1. If you're super lucky, you'll do maybe 2 hit points of damage. And they have a high percentage of fleeing battle. So, you know, they're very hard to defeat, you know, just normally. But for this particular quest, you're supposed to cast Wizard Ward, which protects you against magic, I think. And then the character who casted that has to land the finishing blow on, I think it was 2 metal slimes. And yeah, that is not easy. I gave up on it because, you know, they're hard to find too, so it's not an easy quest to take part in. While we're on the subject, you do have quests in the game. Outside of the main story, you talk to characters with a blue bubble over their head, and you'll have the opportunity to do a quest for them. You can, you know, you fetch them something, or you forge them something in the Alchemy pot, which I'll talk about in a minute. Sometimes you'll have to defeat a certain type of monster, like, you know, so many of them. And then you also have your vocational quests that you take part in. So there's 137 in all, and so there's a lot to do outside of the main quest. And like I said, there is an alchemy pot in this game. It's called the Crack Pot, K-R-A-K pot. It functions basically the same as a Crack Pot from Dragon Quest VIII. One major difference though is that you don't have to walk around and wait for the recipes to finish. You know, you pop in your ingredients, and 2 seconds later your item comes out, which, you know, is both good and bad. I kind of like the excitement of wandering around and, you know, taking forever to create a liquid metal sword, and, you know, because it's really exciting when you finally get it. You're like, yeah, awesome. But, you know, it's kind of cool to have that instantly too. You don't have to wait around or walk around or do, you know, 1,000 battles just waiting for your damn item to be made. So, you know, both good and bad with that. One thing I don't like about the game, and it drove me nuts about it, is you only can have 1 save file. You know, I don't know why they did it. Maybe there's just not enough room on the cartridge to, you know, have multiple files. I don't know. I don't know the technical workings of DS cards. But it was really annoying because I'm the kind of person who, you know, sometimes I like to go back to certain sections of the game, you know, do things differently, fight a boss a certain way, you know, a different way, or, you know, maybe go back and find stuff that I missed. So that was a bit annoying. You know, it's definitely not game breaking, but it is kind of annoying when you beat the game and you know you kind of want to start a new game, but then you kind of want to do the post game content. So you have to make a decision right there. Do you want to start a new game from scratch and just delete, you know, the 30, 40, 50, 60 hours that you just put into the game? Yeah, so a little bit annoying, but not game breaking at all. Musically, this game, it's a pretty good soundtrack. The one gripe I have about it is, you know, there's not many songs, and that probably, again, is because DS cartridges are pretty small. You know, they can't hold a ton of data, and this game has there's a lot to do on it, so maybe that's part of it too. Now, the battle system, it's classic Dragon Quest, you know, classic turn-based combat, which I love. You select the actions for your party members all at one time, and then, you know, based on whoever's the fastest, you beat your enemy or your party characters, you know, they'll take turns in order. And you have your spells, your abilities, you can flee, you can use items. There's also kind of a limit breaky type of thing. You know, I think it triggers when your hit points are low, but kind of randomly. But it's really cool because, like, your priest, he'll cast a free heal all spell on your party, which is always comes in handy. Your warrior will, you know, shock all the enemies, so they'll be afraid to act, and it'll also psych him up, so he'll raise his attack power for a turn. And there's, you know, each vocation has their own type of limit break attack. So that is a really cool feature. Graphically, obviously it doesn't look as good as Dragon Quest VIII on PS2 because, you know, it's a DS game, but it looks pretty damn good. It's got Akira Toriyama doing the art, and, you know, if you're familiar with him at all, or if you're not, you know, he does, like, the Dragon Ball Z stuff, does the Dragon Quest series, also did Blue Dragon on 360, and pretty much you either love the art style or you hate it. Me personally, I love it. And it seems like the NPCs, there's a little bit more variety to them, because I know in Dragon Quest VIII it seemed like they had like 5 NPCs that they would just recycle over and over again. Game is fairly challenging. I've actually found 8 to be a lot more challenging, but this game, you know, it was no pushover. Like, I remember the 4th to last boss, he kept knocking my characters down so they couldn't act, and, you know, I couldn't heal my party or anything, or I couldn't revive anybody because he'd keep knocking them down, so I had to replay that battle like 4 times. And then, you know, the final bosses all have their own special attacks, and of course they're really powerful and stuff. You know, that didn't surprise me at all. But it takes about 30 hours if you just head straight for the end of the game. Don't take part in any side quests or anything. On my save file it took like 80 hours just because I was wandering around, doing random quests and stuff, and just, you know, enjoying the world. One feature I unfortunately did not get to try was the multiplayer option. I looked into it though. It sounds really, really awesome. Basically you have one character, or one player is the host, and then you can have up to 3 other players join you. And, you know, when the other players are in your world, they have the option of just wandering off on their own, you know, doing quests, looting treasure chests, only the blue ones, because the red ones are locked to the host player. Or they can actually join the host and progress the story together, which is really, really cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any friends that have Dragon Quest IX, so I didn't get to try it out. I would really love to, though, because it sounds amazing. And there's also downloadable content, like there's more quests you can download. There's some kind of tagging feature I'm not really familiar with either. So I can't comment on that, but yeah, I would really love to check out the multiplayer on this. And it is like a just local multiplayer. It's not, you know, Wi-Fi, internet, or anything like that. Yeah, so I think that's about it. This was an excellent game. I would put this right between 4 and 8 as far as how good they were. Dragon Quest 8 was just an outstanding game. I would give that, you know, like 9.5, 10 out of 10. Dragon Quest 4 was also very good, and this game would be like right above that, right in between those two. Yeah, so I loved it. I actually started a new game right away the next day when I woke up. I'm just created, you know, the rest of my party, and I'm going off to fight the White Knight now. So, and he's not like an endgame boss. He's just a, you know, a character that you have to defeat early in the game. So that's not a spoiler or anything. Yeah, but this is an excellent game if you're a DS owner who's looking for a good JRPG, or if you love the Dragon Quest series. Definitely pick this game up. It's actually very cheap. I got mine off of Amazon, brand new, sealed, for less than $10. So there's definitely a lot of these available, and they definitely can be had for cheap. So really, really worth your money, really worth your time. So yeah, that's my review for Dragon Quest IX. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.